Hey guys, this is the Aladdin review. We saw a doubleheader. We went to see Brightburn and Aladdin. Which one is better? Well, stay tuned to find out. First, I want to give thanks to our newest sponsor this week, Displate. And these are some badass metallic posters that you guys can purchase. I have a store up on Display where I basically selected all the best designs. Right now, they are launching their license with Witcher 3. So I'm a big fan of Witcher 3, all those video games within the Witcher universe. They got some badass displays. Go and check out the site. I've hand-selected some of them, and you guys get a 15% off discount code, and it helps support the show. So let's get the review started. Aladdin, what did you guys think of this sort of live-action remake with the blue genie Will Smith?
I was surprised. I actually enjoyed it.
Did you, Joe?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Going in, I did not like this one character, Jafar, and coming out,
Yes.
I still don't like him.
I hated
still don't
Jafar.
like him.
He is the weakest part of this film.
he
And
was.
I'm going to be honest with you, too. You know, I went in wanting to hate the film. I don't know why. I guess it's just because Robin Williams and the cartoon
not
is
my
so
genie.
damn
not
good. Not my genie, right? But, you know, it quickly won me over. That
Yeah.
first and second act, I was laughing. I was having a great time. The musical numbers are good. The first and second acts, like, I was riding high. I was
laughing,
like, hell yeah, this is so much fun. It's visually impressive. I ended up liking the Aladdin actor himself.
Yeah.
Of course, Jasmine. Woo-hoo!
Still in love with her.
She is beautiful, John. Now I know why you're in love with that girl. Okay. And I really enjoyed it. However, it's like the inverse of Brightburn.
I was gonna say, yeah.
In the
same thing
third
for me.
act.
Same thing for me.
So whereas Brightburn's third act sold the film for me, Aladdin's third act started to lose me.
Yep.
It kind of punched me out of it. And I'm trying to pinpoint exactly why and where it was. I think it was once the conflict started to happen with Jafar. Once Jafar enacts his plan to sort of grab power and take over, there's several song sequences,
Yeah.
especially one from
yeah, that was
Jasmine.
New. That's a new one.
He's a new one, yeah.
I was like, I don't remember this song. I was gonna ask you
wasn't.
later. What was she saying? Like,
I will not be silenced.
It's
I
this-
will not be
yeah.
silenced. So it was terrible. It like grinds the whole movie to a halt. You know, not only figuratively but visually. Everybody's
literally,
in slow motion while she's like, I'm not gonna be captured.
We're not gonna take
Yeah.
it.
Basically. And I don't know, it just kind of felt like that, you know, this like girl empowerment, and that's okay to empower your female characters, and I guess they did it to make her, you know, give her just as much spotlight and just as much characterization as our main character Aladdin. But it's called Aladdin. It's not really, you know, Jasmine's show, but it seemed like Jasmine's show at that particular
Had they
time.
put it in a different spot of the movie, because that was the second half of the
Yeah.
song that she started singing earlier in the film, and it fit. It actually didn't have a problem with the first time she
Yeah,
started
the
singing
first
it.
time, and where she's headstrong, I'm like, hell yeah,
This is
girl.
good.
But here, it felt so forced.
Well, and then the scene doesn't make any damn sense
No.
too, because she's a prisoner. They grab her by the arms, and all of a sudden, we don't know we're in a musical number yet, and she does this, and then the guards poof away.
You're like,
the,
what the
the
fuck?
snap
She's a genie
happened,
too.
and then they just like they disappear, and I was like, what the fuck is
she
happening?
was a secret genie.
Yeah.
I looked over and I looked at Melissa. Melissa's
And then she starts singing. He's like, "Oh, it's a bad musical number that
Yeah.
slows everything
Yeah.
down."
and it was completely unnecessary.
And then the next scene is completely unbelievable, because then they let her. Jafar just decides to start listening to her. He's like, "Oh, I've heard you sing, so I'm gonna listen to you." No, like
It's so powerful.
he's the ultimate misogynist in this movie, where he's like, "Be silent, I don't want to hear you," and he's gonna be like, "I heard your song. I kind of liked it. I'm gonna let you talk.
Continue.
I'm gonna let you try to persuade these guards to betray me." No, you're not. You're gonna do the staff thing, and she's gonna go away.
Exactly. But that's another subplot there that the guard, she's manages to convince the guard, who's been her protector all her life, to come back to her side, even though Jafar not only is the Sultan, where he is by law must obey him, but he's also got 2 wishes left and a really powerful genie and an army, and everybody in the army just listens to this one guy. They don't have fear, and we're gonna listen to the Sultan, not you. But no, apparently he commands the whole army, so she convinced him herself, and he's like, God dang it, okay, then I'll use my second wish. I'm gonna be the most powerful sorcerer ever. And this is, I don't know why in the live action version it started making me break my suspension of disbelief.
Because it's stupid.
It is fucking stupid. But in the cartoon, doesn't he kind of do something similar?
Because it's a cartoon.
But in here, it's like, wait a minute, you just wished yourself to be one of the most powerful sorcerers, and then you're starting to do things that the genie can do. So technically, you broke the rules. The genie's like, you cannot wish to have more wishes, but essentially, he wished to have more wishes by becoming a sorcerer, and he can teleport people across the world, which is what the first wish that the genie used, or actually Aladdin tricks the genie to get him out of the cave, but that's the powers of the genie. So I'm like, now he's got the powers of the genie.
But he forgets that he has these powers, and so rather than just like tapping the staff and banishing people to the fucking shadow realm, he's just like, I'm gonna turn into Iago and make a big bird, and rather than like bend space and time, I'm gonna chase you around the city in a giant parrot. It was dumb.
It just falls apart.
Yeah.
And because he never grows in size, and he doesn't do some of the things that were done in the animation.
Put her in an hourglass, right?
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to see.
I want to see that, and I wanted to see him turn into a snake, because that was actually pretty scary.
Right.
And that's what kind of, I was like,
I was really looking forward to that conflict in that third act, and it really disappoints.
Yeah.
And not only does it disappoint, but it knocks me out of the film, and I'm like, oh man, I was having a really great time. And what did you think about this side plot, Joe? Genie is given the side plot where he's he's got a love interest.
I was okay with that, and because for this, I wanted to see them do something different, and which she did. And let's talk about Genie first.
With that.
Coming into it, I was like, it's not my Genie. I didn't really want Will to play,
Smith.
but
he
did a good job.
He did a very good job, because I expected to hate him. And
didn't.
the first couple
allow it.
scenes, I was just like,
I loved him.
And then he starts singing, and it's like, all right, you're doing a really good job.
And he's charming as fuck. Will Smith is so charming.
Well, he played Hitch in this movie. He was a blue Hitch. You guys ever see that? Because he's like trying
Matchmaking.
he's trying to
I
date
can
this girl,
see
but he's not
that.
doing a very good job. He's trying to help him
seems
win
like
over
a
Jasmine.
bro, man. He
Yeah.
just wants to be your friend, have some beers, and make your life better.
Yeah.
And you can't hate
He's
him.
very charismatic. I liked it.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was just having such a great time. The performances were great. The musical numbers were great. But there were some things some puzzling choices here.
Guy Ritchie.
Well, hold
Why?
on. So I thought the projector guy was drunk or fell asleep. I was looking back to make sure, because the film was like, it was going in fast motion, and I'm like,
Guy Ritchie.
but they're singing in normal speed. And I'm like, what is going on here?
That's what he does. He
It
speeds.
looks terrible.
Yeah, it looked bad, and that's what Guy Ritchie does. Like, he just speeds up stuff, and then he slows down stuff.
I don't know in other films where he did that, or at least King Arthur and shit. I don't know, but it kind. I guess it was kind of makes him look more cartoonish and goofy,
You don't
But
need that. You
don't
make
need
it live action.
Exactly. Pick one. Are you
Yeah,
trying to make it like
exactly.
live action, or are you trying to make it this other way? Another criticism that I had that I was really surprised, and the film turned me around on, is I thought that the sets looked cheap, or that it wouldn't convince me, and it was more like a Disney theme park ride. But no, I think that the visuals were real nice, and the CGI was believable enough, and the spectacle was large enough that I was just having a great time.
Well, I was worried because when they first get in the Cave of Wonders, I thought it kind of looked kind of crappy. Like, it didn't look. It's supposed to be this place filled with so much treasure that you're supposed to.
Yes.
And so he walks in, and there's like a gem over there, and there's like a small pile of like doubloons over there, and then it doesn't even flesh out all that much. I was expecting like that scene in The Mummy, where he's walking in and it's just like floor to ceiling treasure.
Yeah, because it's supposed to entice you.
Yeah.
Only take one item.
Only take.
Yeah.
Don't
But
touch
it's like,
anything
no,
but the lamp.
well, there's nothing here.
He
but-
takes a ruby. The little monkey takes
Makes-
that
yeah.
ruby,
Yeah.
which causes the whole place to sort of collapse.
It had to
in.
get thrown in his face in order
Yeah.
for it to happen.
And, you know, Aladdin, I really like that actor. I like the character. He's a great dancer. The dance scenes in this film, I loved them. I loved every single time they were dancing. And, you know, he shows kindness. And you can tell he's a good dude. You know, especially he saves Carpet. Carpet is obvious. The magical carpet is in the, you know, cave, and he's stuck between a rock and freeze him. And so, hey, what better thing than have a magical carpet that loves you and you saved his life? So constantly saving Aladdin's life here and making him look like a badass when he's on a date and he's like, hey girl, you
Save
just
a
got
lot
to
of
take
money
a
on
risk.
flights.
Right? You just got to take a risk. He falls off the roof like Superman, Joe. Remember that scene? Right? And but no, the magic carpet got him, and then they go off, and then they sing the most famous song.
But he didn't
Hold
do
the
the
world.
take off your clothes thing. You ever see the
Oh yes.
in the original Aladdin? If they like really quiet on the audio track, Aladdin's like walking, like he's carpeting up to her balcony, and then one of the actors for some reasons whispers, "Take off your clothes."
I don't remember.
in
No.
every Disney
Right, there
movie,
was something.
there's
I remember
always
like
Yeah.
the boner in like Little Mermaid or something like that from the priest or something. You guys, why you gotta bring this stupid shit up? Yo, we're
Because
looking
it's
for
there.
boners and you're
No.
looking for Easter eggs and
No.
people taking their clothes
There
off.
was a little
You're
Easter
sick.
egg.
You're sick,
But
Alex.
There was a
You're
little
sick,
Easter
Joe.
egg though. Like when they're in the desert, you see Carpet in the back making the castle.
Oh,
and
Disney
then
Castle, yeah, he's throwing the
throws
Disney-
a little sign.
That was so damn cute. Like
It
at that
was.
point, I was charmed like a motherfucker. Me and Melissa, we looked over and I
I
pointed
had
that
great
out in the
times.
background. I was just great.
I tried so hard not to compare it.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard.
No.
But I tried turning it off.
Yeah.
I was like, it's scene for scene. I was like, all right, well, the animation did it better. I was like, the animation did it better. I was like, stop it. You need to
Yes.
stop.
The animation, okay, to be perfectly fair, the animation did it better everywhere.
Yes.
In every, I don't think
In
there's anything
every
that this
aspect.
improves on at all.
No.
There was actually scenes where this tried to change the story, tweak the story just a little bit,
Mhm.
and not only did it not work, but if you try to tweak things from something that everyone regards as a classic,
Yeah.
people are gonna be looking at everything under a microscope,
Yeah.
and they kind of failed in some of these scenes where they just didn't fit, and it felt weird, and they're almost all in the third act, where you're just sitting
Yeah.
back going like, you had me. I don't like these live action, like I like
musicals.
I love
don't
musicals.
like musicals.
I love musicals.
I do not like musicals.
So like
I love them.
and so I was sold, and then you turned me against you by making goofy ass decisions in the third act. Why?
Mhm. Exactly. And you're right. That's that damn third act. Now, how much does it affect your enjoyment of the film?
The
What?
third act, a lot.
Yeah.
The love interest with the genie, I was okay with that.
Yeah, it was
I
great.
thought it was cute at first, but I think it was just so kind of forced, hammered at that last moment where they're in. Well, let's talk about some of
It was
that in
more like in
spoilers.
30 act.
Right. It was just a little too.
We've
hammered.
spoiled almost the entire movie already.
If
Well,
you
we-
haven't
we
like
seen
Aladdin's
the
been out
movie-
for
Guys,
yeah.
we spoiled the parts that were in the original animation, but we haven't really spoiled some of the major plot points that was in the new film. But yeah, if you're watching this, come on, guys, Aladdin is old, and
Watch the original.
watch the original. If you haven't seen the original, what the hell's wrong with you? Watch the original.
Yeah.
But this is actually a good one. This is
Yes.
really a good one. Let's go to final verdicts. I'm really
Okay.
curious how much this third act will affect your rating.
I like this movie. I had more fun with this movie than Brightburn.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give this a 7. I loved the cast,
Uh-huh.
except for Jafar. I kind of wish Iago would have done something more because
Oh, I
those two
know.
guys.
But it's Alan Tudyk.
But it sucked though.
I know,
that
they didn't-
these guys should have been like masterminding and plotting, but it was just Jafar. I was like, no.
And you know what? The bird. I never thought that, it's
Iago.
like is that his name?
That's Iago, yeah.
Gilbert Gottfried, his presence, he's such an annoying voice, but he had a personality. And then this
Yeah.
bird has no personality.
just
it's just like
He's just a spy. That's all.
yeah,
he is. It's like,
exactly.
come on. I
No
wanted
personality.
More to that, and the end.
That's such a disappointment, the villain in the film.
Yeah,
So okay,
that one
7
too.
out of 10.
and it really fell for me at the end.
Mhm.
There wasn't enough risk for me as
Mhm.
opposed to the animation one. Like, Jasmine was dying, and this
Oh,
one's
yeah.
just like, oh, we're chasing you, we're gonna
Mhm.
harm you.
Yeah.
and barely, but
Yeah, exactly.
not enough attention for me. So 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 7 as well. I wanted more from. There was opportunities for the genie to do. I know they're trying to do their own thing, but like one thing I really liked about the original is they'd bring in pop culture references that weren't necessarily for the kids, and actually something I thought was from the trailer when he just summons a prince. I thought it was gonna be like someone playing Prince, like the artist, but it was just like some dude in the.
I was like, that's a perfect opportunity. I even turned to Melissa. I said, that's a perfect opportunity for a cameo.
Yeah,
but was it Will Smith? Could you tell in the background? Was it just another Will Smith?
Prince is.
No, I'm talking for a cameo of somebody.
Oh,
famous.
for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That'd be great. But and
like I was thinking maybe Sinbad or maybe somebody. That, yeah, I don't know, man.
We were just talking about Sinbad yesterday.
Yeah.
It was really weird. And so they didn't do any of that. They also introduced some motivations. Like Jafar has this weird political intrigue thing that doesn't make any sense. He's better as not a vanilla villain, but
he
like
wants
someone
to be an empire and take over other empires.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It didn't fit or make sense. Where he's just like,
I
we
won't
need
allow
to take over any of this other stuff. I didn't appreciate it. So the third act fell like.
And
on
seeing
its
how
face.
small their kingdom is, because the kingdom looks kind of small. I was like, I don't know what kind of army you could muster up, buddy. You know, you're trying to conquer
Hey, you
other
and those
nations.
5 people.
Yeah. We're gonna go raid the next village. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it loses a lot of points in the third act because it did manage to bring me over to their side. It swayed me over. I was like, look, I think they did a good job with almost all the musical numbers until they didn't, and they're almost all at the end. And why is DJ Khaled singing at the end of this movie?
That's a terrible song.
It should lose a point for that, but it
God
doesn't.
dang,
7 out of 10.
Will Smith, rapping again, and he's a good rapper, but this just song's not very good.
Yeah.
What do you think of Will Smith singing and his performance?
It took me a second to acclimate, but once I did, I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard worse. I actually saw.
He wasn't Russell Crowe.
No, I saw the New York Aladdin Broadway.
Oh,
yeah, he went to New York
I thought it was
recently.
going to be good. It was not.
It wasn't good.
No.
So this was far better?
Yes.
Far better. Who was the
Far
genie in
better.
that one, Joe?
I don't even know. Some random
Just some
dude.
random guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. All right, so I'm going to actually give it, guys, seriously, this thing was a 10 out of 10 for me when we're in that first act, when we're in that second act, and I'm just so surprised at how much it came to a screeching halt, right? When Jafar was taking over in this final conflict, and Jasmine just, breaking everything and just going out into a song of empowerment, and that's fine. I get it. I'm on board for that, but it felt so forced and out of place. And like you said, the final battle tension was nowhere near as impressive as in the animation, or it didn't have the stakes. And then it kind of broke a little bit of the lore and stuff like that. But then they wrapped it up there at the end, and it got better. So I actually enjoyed Brightburn more for what it was. But I think that you should actually go out this weekend and see both, or eventually do see both in the theaters. But for this one, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 because, it's definitely mixed there at the end. It's very strong first and second act, not that great third act. Brightburn is the reverse. You're setting things up in the first and second act. Second act's getting pretty tropey, but that third act, woo, that's some good payoff there.
See Brightburn because I want more good rated R.
Yeah, that shit is rated R.
Yeah. And this movie's going to make a killing no matter what, so wait till next week to see Aladdin. Go see Brightburn.
I agree. Go see Brightburn and then see Aladdin eventually.
You're going to have, especially if you have kids, you're going to have to see this movie.
And especially if you like Will Smith, man. Just continues to be charismatic. And, I wonder if they're going to do any of the lame-ass Disney sequels for these live-action.
The straight to VHS
right,
ones?
the straight to VHS one.
Return of Jafar, and then the third one was like... Prince of Thieves.
Wait, there was a third one?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
There's like 5 Little Mermaids, too.
I liked it.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that's our opinion on Aladdin. We kind of spoiled some things there, but let's go ahead and talk a little bit more spoilers in the spoiler section. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys. Welcome to the spoiler section for Aladdin. So a lot of things were different, at least in the third act, about that the final battle not being quite as impressive. No Sands of Time and Snake.
Didn't really spoil much because you see Iago in the trailer like being huge, so you know that's gonna happen.
Oh, is that in the trailer? Okay, so they do
that.
Kind
of sucked that they did that. But I was really hoping to see the snake.
Yeah, when he makes him the ultimate.
You're afraid of snakes?
No,
it's a huge snake.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to see a huge
when he makes him the ultimate sorcerer, his clothes just change from red to a darker red. I'm like, okay.
He's evil.
Cool.
Yeah, it's evil.
And then he makes the sky dark, and he's like, I just did not like Jafar.
Yeah, because like the third act really ruined it for me. Because like they were escaping with the lamp, and he's the most powerful sorcerer. Fucking get him back. Yeah. You were teleporting people, or use your staff and just fucking kill him.
Yeah, but in the cartoon, he has those powers too. So I don't understand.
But it's different.
But they set up over and over and over. Like, he's like, I banish you to the dungeon. I banish you to the dungeon. I banish you to the dungeon. I'm going to make you kneel. I'm going to do all these things to you. And so his staff could do anything. And then the guy starts running away, and he's like, oh, shit, I got nothing for that.
And he stops him prior to getting the
Oh, yeah, he can just go frozen in time. So he has the power to do that. And then he runs away on the carpet. He's like, I got nothing. It's too far away. I'm going to turn into a parrot.
What do you guys think of the side characters like Apu?
Oh, great. He was still great. I still loved him.
He did Apu, the Cave of Wonders, and it was the original one from the animated one. So I don't remember that guy's name.
And I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen the animated one. But what about the scene where he pushes him off in the chair, and he slams into the water because he figures out he's not he's actually Aladdin and not Prince Ali. And the genie breaks the rules in order to free him because he's his friend. Now, I know you have the friendship, obviously, thing going on in the original Aladdin, but I can't remember what was the equivalent to that scene in the animation. I'll put y'all on the spot.
I don't remember. It's been a long time.
I'm trying to think.
Okay,
I think it's just basically...
You've seen more than us, Joe, because of all your nieces.
Man, I don't remember that.
Damn it. All right, but I just like the fact that, and it's like, what the hell the lore? Because he's breaking these rules, and he's breaking them a lot.
And then they go the very next scene where they're talking about where Aladdin's like, oh, I can't possibly free you. There's this kind of garbagey conversation between Genie and Aladdin that I wanted more like emotion and believability between the two of them, and that scene just didn't work for me. Like, the genie's supposed to be upset because Aladdin's gonna be breaking his promise, and Aladdin's just being a dick, and there's no believability between that within that whole conversation.
Yeah, I agree. Any other spoilery things?
Just the love interest is the only thing that was new.
Yeah, the love interest with Genie. He fumbles around, even though he's this really smooth guy, Hitch. Himself, but when he goes to talk to the girl, he's just stumbling over his words. God, he's stupid. That's stupid.
Well, that's exactly what Hitch was.
Stroll, right?
Look,
yeah, exactly.
The man has been locked in for 10,000 years.
Yeah,
he's a little rusty. Give him a break.
But then at the end of the film, it's just hammered a little too much for me. Where it's like, hey, you want to get together? Yes, and we're going to have kids. And then, okay, we had kids in the very next scene, and we're going to have a boat, and we're going to fuck, and we're going to be married, and we're going to love each other for the rest of the life. And it's like, Jesus Christ, you just met, but now you have kids, and you've got a boat, and you're traveling the world together. What if you hate her?
Too bad.
It's a Disney movie. You're not allowed to.
Yeah. I know. It was like, let's get the the main character's best friend some loving too.
Oh, but Aladdin doesn't become the Sultan. Jasmine becomes the Sultan. That's the biggest change. That's like the biggest.
Right.
So she becomes the leader of Agrabah, and then he's just the
they did
boy
push
toy.
the whole thing where it's like, she's more in tune with her people, and she did a little bit of that in the animation, but she becomes the Sultan. She's got the power. I
think that
just rewrite the rules, and she can be with him.
I mean, that's great, and I'm all for it, but they set it up logically that she doesn't know a goddamn thing about her people because she's never been outside, and if anyone knows anything...
She's trying to go out more as him, right?
Yeah, she's only been outside of the castle once since she was like 9 years old, so she doesn't know anything
about... They go
about...
for that female empowerment thing, but here kind of probably that he would actually be a better ruler.
It doesn't make
her,
sense because he's homeless and he's on the streets and he knows what it's like to be hungry, and she's like, I have a bracelet that's worth more than like everybody's life,
right?
And I want to be queen.
And she even says this thing that her mother always taught her, that the king, that you should only be as happy as the least happy subject in your kingdom. I'm like, really really. There's going to be a lot of poor people in the kingdom. That's just the way kingdoms are sometimes.
Yeah.
And so things will be all backwards.
She
and
doesn't know
who's
how
going to know that better than Aladdin himself?
The whole movie starts because she doesn't know how a store works. She's just like, I'm going to give this bread to this little orphan. Good, right?
Yeah.
No, not good?
Not good.
Oh, okay. She's sold me.
It's okay. She's,
Yeah,
she's
it's fine.
beautiful. She can take whatever bread she wants.
Yeah.
And she tries to take bread multiple times. When he comes in here and the big song and dance about, I'm rich and I've got jams, and it was so funny to me.
Yes,
and he's like,
that's
I'm going to
so good.
buy you. And look at this box. It's an impressive box because it's expensive. And he's just fumbling over himself. And, saying rude and insulting things, essentially, just not being himself, which she kind of was falling in love with him as himself. Obviously, this is the same sort of storyline. But then she's like, I'm going to go get bread or something. She says that.
Yeah.
I guess there's a callback to the time she got bread for everybody. All right, guys, that's it. And Jafar turns into the red genie, and he's got some badass powers, and he wants to immediately destroy the next kingdom, and he's about to throw this big ass lightning, but then it's the gauntlet stop him, and he realizes, oh crap, there are rules, and he has no master. So if Aladdin was smart, or Jasmine, if Jasmine was smart, she's going to keep this under lock and key. Maybe even summon him and force him to do shitty wishes.
Return of Jafar.
Right, no Return of the Jafar. We'll see. All right, guys, that's it for us. Thank y'all so much for watching, and we shall see you on the next Angry Joe Show.
Bye,
guys.
guys.